This is Sunil Ramesh here. Basically, we are discussing one of the topic that is Microsoft creation. In Microsoft creation, basically, we are talking about one of the topic that is earthquake. Basically, in earthquake, basically, we are talking about this whole topic. Basically, so in this, basically, they have sent the data of Sunil and I are going to die. Basically, so in that, basically, they will check that what are the impact going to happen. Basically, so they basically the person who is going to die, na basically, he basically dies. The universe group basically keeps on killing basically him daily basically, so 10 to 12 days basically they takes basically to kill that particular person basically. So in sleep basically they kills him 10 to 12 times basically, minimum basically, daily basically. Then they checks basically anything is going to impact the universe. So just see basically the universe group know that basically how powerful human bodies are. So by killing basically they verifies 100 times basically. 12 days basically they keeps on killing Sunil Nair, Sunil Nair, Sunil Nair, Sunil Nair. Because they know basically that up to what level the each and every human blood cells are basically connected. Because they have connected na basically. They have connected to the satellite basically, that's why. So like this basically they checks. First day basically they killed Sunil Nair 12 times. Then basically they killed second day Sunil Nair basically killed for 14 times basically. Then they killed Sunil Nair basically 15 times basically. Then they killed Sunil Nair 16 times. Like this they basically kills daily basically Sunil Nair 20 times, 30 times when basically he's sleeping basically. Just to check basically whether is going anything is going to impact after his death basically or not. Because once basically they have confirmed death basically, then it's very difficult, because Apple death basically they have sent basically in the earthquake basically. So just see up to what level dangerous things basically are basically. It's not basically so easy basically France group to handle the situation basically. Not so easy. It's very dangerous basically. It's very dangerous because it's going to impact to entire universe basically. It's not going to impact to only the Earth planet basically. One death basically. It's going to impact to entire universe basically. Not only myself basically, each and every people basically which is going to die. So that's why basically they have kept the 900 crore people. That millisecond data basically. In within millisecond basically they are going to kill the 900 crore people basically. So just imagine basically. So assume that basically they have checked for 12 days basically that Sunil Nair is going to die, and they killed Sunil Nair 25 to 30 times basically when they are that Sunil Nair is sleeping basically. So they basically used the Apple data. So in this magnitude basically they basically sent Apple data. Assume that is that. In that Apple data basically they are going to kill Sunil Nair. So Apple data basically was the data basically on the basis of that basically they killed Sunil Nair basically. Because when he was purchasing Apple or basically when he was eating the apple basically some incidents basically they saw, in that basically they decided basically that Sunil Nair basically is going to die basically. Just taking as an example basically. Then basically they told that yes basically. After the 20 days verification, they at last basically they sent the final death data basically. That is this Sunil Nair basically is died. So death data basically they are going to send that Sunil Nair basically died, and after that basically they say that basically nothing is going to happen in the universe. So few people say that basically satellite groups basically never involves directly basically nowadays. They basically keeps plane basically in between basically. Through plane basically they kill Sunil Nair basically 10 to 12 times basically, and daily basically they kill. So like this basically they use different direction of the sky basically. That is anything is going to impact basically. If he will kill from this direction, if he will kill from that direction, if he will kill from this direction. So each and every direction also basically they checks basically. So first they basically checked the 12 times basically 12 direction. Second day basically they checked 12 direction. So each and every direction basically they checks basically. Each and every direction also basically they checks basically. So just see basically up to what level things basically are there. So like this basically they checks through plane also basically. I got just idea basically when the plane was coming. That's how basically I got the idea basically. The plane also basically are used basically. The plane are also basically used in the death basically. So you can just imagine basically. So assume that basically plane were also basically used, because nowadays basically the satellite group basically never interacts directly basically, because they know basically it's very dangerous basically to kill anyone basically. So that's why the saving team basically are there basically. Saving team basically keeps on saving basically. But few people say that basically we will kill him basically. That means we will kill him basically. So like this also basically things are basically there basically. So like this basically things are also basically there. So one of the person told that basically in this basically we have sent pneumonia data, we have sent malaria data, we have sent chikungunya data, we have sent normal disease death data, we have sent corona data basically. So like this basically each and every death data basically we have sent. So according to that basically government decides basically which person is supposed to die. So see the power of the government basically. So people say that basically we are nothing basically. So this many people basically see basically per day basically they kills 100, 300, 500, 800, 900. So they daily basically they kills 900 people basically by taking the decisions basically. And one person basically is just basically he types the Google basically some mafia word basically, and basically he watch basically some mafia groups basically, then basically their cyber group basically attacks basically. So you can just imagine basically the normal people basically, if he's a normal person basically, the government and the cyber cell, each and every police department just literally basically attacks him basically, because he's a normal person basically. He's a simple person basically. No, he's not going to do anything basically. So this basically connects to one song basically. I will just display that song basically. In next video basically we will display that song basically.